Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. For a couple of years, I've had multiple requests to rank Paul McCartney's solo career. With the new album coming out Friday, Boys from Dungeon Lane, I think today's a good day to do it. It's rainy, I'm still homebound. So I have a lot of McCartney. I got like 48 albums, but that includes imports and bootlegs. I'm going to go through very quickly each album, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post three piles. I'm going to put them into a pile of albums that really didn't leave much impact. Listen, if I have it, I like it. I don't think they're bad albums, but there are albums that just didn't leave much of an impact at all. In fact, my rule is I have to listen to an album at least 5 times for it to make it officially in my collection. So all of these albums I've heard at least 5 times. That's the minimum. There are McCartney albums I've heard 5 times, and I haven't heard them since. That's kind of that first one. Then we're going to have albums that were more successful for me. All of this is based on my personal listening. That's what I base it on, how much I listen to an album. The middle one's going to be albums that were more successful, left a bit more of an impression, but aren't like amazing. And then the last pile is going to be like albums that were hugely successful for me and classics. And then I'm going to rank those at the end, my top 10. All right, without further ado, let's start at the beginning. 1970, his first album, McCartney. I got 2 versions of it. This is from the Paul McCartney collection. I got that version, and then I got the archive collection. I got a bunch of these, and this has bonus discs and really nice 2 discs on this one. An album that has grown really, really well for me. I really like the debut McCartney solo record, and we're going to put that into the third pile, which is the classics, the ones I really, really love. Now we go to 1971, and we got Ram. You're going to see, I'm going to rank this one really high. This is also a 2-disc version from the archive collection, and this is a really special record. Love Ram. That certainly goes into the classic period. Thrillington, you may remember this one. This is an instrumental version that McCartney did under the name Percy Thrills Thrillington. This is an instrumental version of Ram. I got it just because I love Ram so much, but not particularly successful, but that's just fun to have. All right, 1971, we're heading into Wings and Wildlife, an album that's a grower. It's better than a lot of people might think it is, but it's certainly no classic for me. That's going to go into the middle pile, but every once in a while I do get the desire to pick that one up and play it. Red Rose Speedway comes back in 1973. Here's a version with 3 bonus tracks on CD. And this is another one that was really like a mixed bag. I was initially really disappointed. Here's my vinyl version of it with that really nice booklet in there. So this is one of the few ones that I still kept the vinyl, but because it's a really nice package. I would move this one up as well from to that middle one where Wildlife is. Got some really good songs and some kind of but successful for me. What's up next? Well, the end 1973, you got Band on the Run. Here's the box set version. Lots of versions of this one. This is by far, for me, McCartney's best solo record. That is definitely going into the classic one. McCartney solo studio records, in my opinion, don't get better than Band on the Run, that's for sure. Now you go to 1975 and an album that was really special for me. That is Venus and Mars, and this is the version from that, the McCartney collection with some bonus tracks. And then I even have a DTS high-definition version of that. I am a huge fan of this album. Goes into my classic pile for sure. Then we got Wings at the Speed of Sound. I love Wings era, as you can see. This is the archive collection, another 2-disc version with some extra doodads. I don't think it's as good as Venus and Mars or Band on the Run, but it's a fine release, and I will put that into my very special all-time favorite era. 1976, I am going to include live records because I'm a huge fan of live albums. Wings Over America, that is an all-time classic. I have lots of videos on my favorite live records, and this is always up near the top. That is in a classic one for me. That is 1976. We go to 1978, and an album that a lot of people don't talk about. But that is London Town, and this album for me is a classic. Can't even explain what it is. I've listened to this album a ton, and I absolutely love London Town to this day, and that goes into my classic pile. That is 1978. 1979, you have Back to the Egg, which I am currently missing. I had it up until recently. I had a special edition, and believe it or not, I actually sold it because I was not a big fan of Back to the Egg. That would actually be in the lesser pile. So I will get it again, just for completion purposes. Not a fan of Back to the Egg as much as I've tried. 1980, you get McCartney 2, and this was not an album I'm a big fan as well. This is one of those, for me, just didn't do much. Coming Up, the live version is really great, but the rest of it, I appreciate what he was doing. It's just not something that ever grabbed me, and that goes into the third pile of just one and dones. I listened to it 5, 6, 7 times, and I haven't really played it since. 1982, though, he comes back with Tug of War. Here is the Archive Collection, another 2-disc edition, and this was a huge hit for me. It was a great return and very successful. I was in college at that time, living with some Beatle fans, and they really loved this album. I heard it a lot, and it's a really good one. Tug of War. That goes into the really successful pile. Now we go to 1983. Pipes of Pan, the follow-up, and this is another Paul McCartney collection. This one didn't do too much for me. I love Pipes of Peace. Say, didn't do too much for me. So Bad's good. But overall, really, it did not grab me, and I'm going to put that into that third pile of just albums that are okay. Didn't do much for me. Then we get 86. He put out, oh, by the way, 84, he did Give My Regards to Broad Street. That is the only McCartney solo record, not including Fireman albums, that I have never gotten Broad Street. I don't have it. I should get it just for completion points. That brings us to 86 with Press to Play. Another McCartney album, got some good songs. Stranglehold, Press was okay. But overall, there's a lot of tracks on this, 16 tracks with the bonus ones. Just didn't do much for me. It's all personal taste. All the Best is a collection. Was Wings Greatest I also had. I didn't need it. I got rid of it eventually. But this was a decent collection to have. I'm not going to rank it. We'll stick that up there around Thrillington. Okay. Where are we at? We're up to 1988 when he did the Russian album. I had it on vinyl, and here it is on CD. And for what it is, it's fun. It's an enjoyable listen, but it's not something I ever go to, and didn't particularly grab me when it came out. So I'm going to put that into the least successful McCartney albums again for me. 1989 puts in Flowers in the Dirt. Whatever it was, he was touring. This album was a really big hit for me. I really liked it. Elvis Costello helping out. Lots of really great tracks. We Got Married. Put it there. This one. This album did really, really well for me. That goes into the big successful pile. Then he toured. I actually saw that live show and put out Trippin' Alive, fantastic. And I love McCartney. You know, he did it with Wings Over America. He puts out the whole show. And here you have a double disc with the whole show. And it was a great, great concert. You get some extra kind of live stuff, that Inner City Madness, Cracking Up. But it's a really, really fine live record. And we're going to put that in that middle category. That's a really good one. It's a highlights disc as well. Then he does 1991, Unplugged. And that's an album that I really liked. That was on MTV. I copied it on VHS. I got a bootleg DVD of that somewhere. And that is a really good performance. I like it. It is really enjoyable. And we're going to stick that one right in the middle there. Then he goes, puts out 1993, comes back with Off the Ground. I saw that tour as well. And that was a good record. I liked it. I didn't think it was as good as Flowers in the Dirt, but I liked it a lot. Hope of Deliverance was great. Biker Like an Eye, Peace in the Neighborhood is really good. I thought it was pretty solid, and we're going to put that in the middle. Then he put out another live record. This time he doesn't put out the whole concert. He's been doing that a lot. He's been doing a lot of Beatle tracks live. Here's Paul is Live, fun cover. And it was okay. Just thought this live one was alright. Didn't totally grab me, and I'll put that in the first column. It's fine for what it is, but it's not a live McCartney album that I went to very often. Now in 1997, he comes back and does Flamin' Pie, and you can kind of say if I really like the album, I get the archive collection, the deluxe ones, 2-disc set. Yeah, this album I really liked a lot, was really successful. In fact, not to give too much away, this is probably the last McCartney album that I had that was, quote-unquote, a really, really big hit for me. Got to remember, I buy over 100 albums a year that would be new for me. They may not be new albums that came out that year, but they new for me. There's a lot of competition, so, you know, if you could place an album near the top of a year, that's pretty successful. That's the last time McCartney probably had one at that kind of level, for me anyway. Flaming Pie. Run Devil Run came out in 1999. Again, kind of like the Russian album. It was a fun idea. It's certainly the performances are really strong for what they are, but it's not the kind of thing I go back and listen to, and we're going to put that in that third column. I am going to mention Wingspan. This is a nice deluxe edition of it. I thought he did a great job on his collection, Hits and History. And this is a great collection. To this day, if I was going to tell somebody, if you wanted to get into McCartney, that's a good way to go, because this is a killer collection. All right, but I'm not ranking that. That's essential, though. Let's go back to Studio Records 2001. He puts out Driving Rain. Initially, not overly successful. He had to redo the cover. And this is the one that had Freedom that he added on, which he did the 9/11 show. I just thought it was okay. I did like Freedom, even though it was a bit of a throwaway from a lover to a friend. But overall, it was not a big hit. It did not really jive with me. And I'm going to put Driving Rain over there. Again, all my personal opinion. Based on my listening, it's all that. 2002, he did Back in the U.S., live 2002. Another double live record. By now, it's not a fault. He's doing amazing sets, you could see. He covers a lot of ground. He's playing Beatles stuff, but he's playing deep stuff. But, I'm getting tired of hearing the Beatles stuff live. I know I'm in a rarity with that. I like that Wings stuff. I would have liked to hear some of that stuff live. And this was an album that did not grab me as far as being a live record. Okay, we go to 2005, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. A lot of people love this record, and it does have some fine songs on there, Jenny Wren, and you can see it. But overall, is it the kind of thing that I ever went back to very often? No. I look at it now, and I look at the title tracks, I'm like, do I remember these songs? Whereas other albums, I could instantly recognize every song. And they're newer, so maybe they don't have the legs that these other ones had. But then again, do I have the desire to go back and play these? And the answer is not really. So, although, again, there's some really good tracks on there, that goes in that column for me. As does the next one, Memory Almost Full, 2007. I actually bought it twice to see if it would grab me even more. This is the DVD version. McCartney really flopping out lots of different versions now. This one had the live show on DVD, which I'm a live fan. And, some of it's really good. Dance Tonight, Only Mama Knows was good. Some of the tracks are really good, but some of them kind of forgettable. And at this point, I don't go back to it, which is why it's in that first pile. Okay, next up, we're flying, right? 2009, another live record, Good Evening, New York City. Opening Citi Field, and great value for money, 2 CDs and a DVD. And again, for me now, this is just like McCartney and the Beatles live, and I'm glad to have them. They're great concerts, but do I ever have a desire to go back and listen to them and watch them? No. I still go back to, Wings Over America. That's the one I play. So that goes in that first column. Okay, 2012 gives us Kisses in the Bottom. And what can I say? It's a cool idea. I appreciate McCartney, the artist, and doing like standards, and that's something Rod Stewart was hugely successful at. Did I have a great desire to play this then? No. Do I now? No. Goes in that first one. Okay, we're up to the most recent runs. 2013 was new. This one did maybe better than some of these latter day ones. Had a pretty good run. 12 new songs plus 2 bonus tracks. This is the deluxe edition, quote. Queenie Eye and On My Way to Work and New. It's okay. It's good. It's not great, but do I go back and have a desire to play this ever? And the answer is not really. So I'm going to put that at that pile as well. Now you go to 2018, we got Egypt Station. Man, I had to buy this thing twice because after I bought it the first time, McCartney puts out the Explorers Edition, which is what this one was, with 2 discs. And, so it gave me a chance to revisit it for sure with a whole bunch of bonus tracks on disc 2. The reality is kind of like New. Is it okay? Yeah. Is it good? It's all right. Do I ever have this desire to go listen to it? Is it memorable for me? And the answer is no. So I'm putting Egypt Station up there, even though I bought it twice. This was a shocker, 2019, this hard-to-find Amoeba gig, live record. Man, this one blew me away. This is a kick-ass live album. I loved it. He's still a great performer, good set list, and I put that in the middle because that's a really strong one. And then we're up to 2020 with McCartney 3. I was a little bit annoyed because he released 57 versions of it, and I thought that was a bit of a cheat. But it is what it is. I did wind up eventually getting it, it's okay. Didn't do much for me. Played it 5 or 6 times, filed it away, and now I look at it, I'm like, I can't even remember any of the songs, and I never really have a desire to go back to it. So we're going to put that in the third pile. So there is all the McCartney solo ones filed away. What did I miss? I'll show you some other cool stuff. This is all the best. We talked about it on CD. This is a vinyl version from England, which has a completely different track listing. So that's for you collectors out there. If you ever find all the best different versions of it. And here's an original Wings Paul McCartney bootleg. Thought you might get a kick to see that. I'm not ranking that. But I'm going to show you some other bootlegs, and I would include this. This is Paul McCartney and Wings' last flight, the complete 79 Glasgow concert, Back to the Egg. And this is one kick-ass live show. If this was officially released, this would rank really high. This was professionally recorded. Campuchia is on here as well, and I have the Campuchia album. This is a really good live album. Highly, highly, highly recommended, folks. Highly recommended. I'm going to stick you over there. I do have some other bootlegs. Here's Paul McCartney and Denny Laine doing Buddy Holly stuff, which was fun because, of course, McCartney owns Buddy Holly stuff. And then some other demos from 1980. So, I'm a McCartney fan. I'm not trying to be hard on him. And this is fun to hear his demos from his classic albums. Here's Flaming Pie demos, Off the Ground demos. I like hearing that. Some deeper live tracks, although McCartney is not shy about doing live stuff. And then a Russian Greatest Hits Volume 1, which is kind of interesting because when you play this, you kind of realize that his career really does have like really, really highs and then mediocre stuff. But so does everybody, right? So there you have it. I have separated all that McCartney into 3 piles of stuff that just didn't really grab me. I listened to it 5, 6, 7 times, filed it away, and really haven't heard them since. That's this pile. I'll bring the camera closer. This is in the middle. I think they're a step up from these, but not classics. and then the classics. Now, out of these classics, what would be my top 10? Really, ranking the top 10 is unimportant. Just the fact that they're here means they really, really stood out for me. But I know people really do love ranking. So what would I put at number 10? And I guess theoretically these things could change over time. So at number 10, I would probably put Wings at the Speed of Sound. Funny thing is, my favorite track on this album is not the ones you might expect, like the big hits. I love Beware My Love, Time to Hide. That's my number 10 right there. We're going to stick you over there. Wings at the Speed of Sound, number 10. At number 9, I'm looking at my list. That's going to be Tug of War. Again, it was a huge hit and a really strong return. Although, God, I hate Ebony and Ivy with a passion. I can't tell you how much I hate that song. But again, just personal taste, folks. Don't be mad. I got a lot of McCartney albums, so obviously I like them, right? Number 9 for me, Tug of War. What did I drop? All right. Number 8, we are going to go with Flaming Pie. Really strong one. I like that one a lot. And like I had hinted to you, that's the last time that McCartney actually had like a really, really, really big hit for me. Number 8, Flaming Pie. Number 7, we're going to go with Flowers in the Dirt. It was a great tour and an exciting time for sure to be a McCartney fan. That was I thought, a particularly strong album. That's a good one. Flowers in the Dirt at number 7. Number 6 is going to be the classic debut, and that is McCartney. I got a couple versions of that. I'll use this one so hopefully it doesn't fall. McCartney's debut solo record from 1970 at number 6. Number 5, I am going to go with a surprise for a lot of people, but I love London Town. I don't know what to tell you. Still, it's a go-to for me. I love London Town. I just think it's really great listen. And that's it. London Town for me at number 5. Number 4, we're going to go with Venus and Mars. And I got a bunch of different versions of that. I'll stick this one up there. I love Venus and Mars. But that was a great time for me. When Venus and Mars came out, which was 1975, I was 12 years old. And I'm a McCartney fan like everybody. And that was just a really exciting album for me. And that's number 4. At number 3, what am I up to? Number 3, we're going to go with Ram. I love Ram. When it first came out, didn't get the best reviews possibly, but man, it's such a great listen. And it just holds up really well. To this day, Ram is a wonderful listen for me, which is why it's at number 3. Number 2 is really number 1, but you're going to see what I'm going to put for number 1 in a minute. Band on the Run, for me, by far, McCartney's best album. It's perfection. It's really the only studio solo record that he has, to me, that is perfect. And that is Band on the Run, which is my number 2. So you're like, well, what's number 1? My number 1, because I'm including live records, is Wings Over America. It's one of my favorite live albums. It's a perfect listen. In its time, it was pretty revolutionary. 3 vinyl albums, nice packaging with the poster. You got the whole show. You get mostly, McCartney, and you get a lot of Wings. That's the era of McCartney that's really special for me because I was born in 1963. So Wings and McCartney in the mid-70s was just great. And that's Wings Over America, an amazing concert, and rock shows a really good rock concert movie of that show. I still listen to Wings Over America more than any other McCartney record, which is why it's my number 1. So there you have it. Me tier ranking and ranking Paul McCartney solo. It is all personal taste. So, and it's, like I said, there's extra factors involved. Maybe when I got new, I had like 6 other albums going at that time, and it was overshadowed by those. Whereas if it was different timing and there was nothing else at that time, maybe new would have got more impressions than it got. So everything's not in a vacuum. So if you feel like I'm missing out on some of these older albums that maybe you feel like I didn't give enough of a shot, even though I've heard them all at least 5 times, typically about 7, let me know. I'm always open to revisit something that maybe I missed at the time. So let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this. It's all about fun. This is all based, again, on my personal listening habits. It's not the definitive, but you can see that I'm a fan. I got quite the McCartney collection and would love to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. You can check out playlists. I got 591 videos, so there's a lot to check out. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you next time. And if you're here in the United States, hope you enjoy Memorial Day weekend, which here on Long Island is a complete washout. But I'm still home down, laying in bed watching TV all the time. So, alrighty, I'll see you around.